All right, what's good, people? And it's your boy Z here, back with another video. And then this is pretty much the conference championship. This is the final four of 2020. We got the Tennessee Titans versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and then at the NFC we have Green Bay and San Francisco. Now, for Green Bay and San Francisco, history basically repeats itself. Okay, for those who were around back in the day, the last time we had a Packers versus 49ers NFC Championship game was back in '98. That was Brett Favre versus Steve Young. Okay. And for those that remember Andy Reid, that was him as an offensive coordinator for Green Bay under Mike Holmgren. Even back in them days. Okay. But it's going to be interesting to see these two teams go head to head. You know, Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Garoppolo. And this is, and I've given Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch a lot of credit. Like I said before, they've rebuilt that team and have them competing competitively, right? This is the best I've seen the 49ers look since Jim Harbaugh last had them. But it's ironic that Richard Sherman is about to battle Green Bay out on the division rival. It's ironic, right? Just 10 years ago, this man was playing for the Seattle Seahawks, right? Beating the 49ers to advance to a Super Bowl. Now he's about to go through Aaron Rodgers again for a second time in his career, this time for the as a part of 49ers. It's like when Deion Sanders hopped from the 49ers and went to the Dallas Cowboys, right? Like I said, man, history repeats itself. But it's just different, right? But yeah, this the Packers and Niners, man, it's going to be very interesting to see these two teams battling out. I say it's going to probably be a high scoring game. Both of those two teams can get after each other very early, especially in the passing game. You're going to get to see Jimmy Garoppolo at his best. If Jimmy Garoppolo wants to really show what he can do as a starting quarterback, now's his chance. He has the perfect opportunity to see just what Bill Belichick and Tom Brady taught him all that time. And it only took Garoppolo like 3 years to get this team going. It only took the Niners built around Jimmy Garoppolo for 3 seasons since he got traded over there. It didn't take him that long, right? And like I told you before, man, Kyle Shanahan was the brains behind the Falcons going to that Super Bowl 5 years ago, right? Remember, 5 years ago, he helped Matt Ryan become the league MVP. Matt Ryan had almost close to 5,000 yards. And it was Kyle Shanahan's playbook that helped the Falcons beat Green Bay the last time, right? Remember, they beat Aaron Rodgers before. So Aaron Rodgers is he's no stranger to Kyle Shanahan at all. Except this time, he's facing Kyle Shanahan with a different team. But 5 years ago, Aaron Rodgers had to battle Kyle Shanahan's squad, the Atlanta Falcons, which he lost to. So Aaron Rodgers definitely forgot about that. Okay, but this gives Kyle Shanahan to prove once and for all that he's the brains behind that Falcon team getting to a Super Bowl, at least offensively, right? And if you look at the way the 49ers played, it's literally the same thing. The 49ers have played just like the Falcons was 5 years ago. And then Aaron Rodgers, man, this gives Aaron Rodgers another opportunity to win him to lead his team back to a Super Bowl. Because Aaron really don't got much time left. Aaron Rodgers, to be honest with y'all, he only has about at least 4 more seasons left in him. And that's if he avoids another injury. Without injury, he'll go at least about 4 more seasons. If Aaron Rodgers was to get another injury, like say like next season, to where he injures his neck, his back, right, an arm, anything like that, of that matter, Aaron Rodgers is gonna have to retire sooner than later, right? But it's only about the grace of God that Aaron Rodgers was able to stay around for this long, and Packers was able to build a team around him and get them this far, right? Because without Aaron Rodgers, that Green Bay Packers are never gonna have this success. I'll be honest, man. Aaron Rodgers made Matt LaFleur's job a lot easy over there, and quite simple because LaFleur is not Mike McCarthy. Like Matt LaFleur is gonna bow down to Aaron Rodgers and listen to everything he's gonna tell him to do. Mike McCarthy is too much. Again, he's not going. He's like an alpha. And Mike McCarthy wants to run the team his way. Aaron Rodgers didn't like it. So that's why Mike McCarthy left Green Bay, is because of Aaron Rodgers. He got fired over a season ago because him and Aaron just wasn't getting along. Like Aaron wants to run things his way, so Matt LaFleur is going to be the man to do it. But I give Matt LaFleur his credit as a rookie head coach. This is hella impressive. Only a rookie head coach, he's already in the NFC Championship game. So so this is going to be very interesting out of both teams. But yeah, man, like the last time those two teams battled each other is when you still had Jerry Rice on the Niners. And then the Packers had Reggie White, and they had Antonio Freeman and Dorsey Levens. The Niners had J.J. Stokes if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. J.J. Stokes, Terrell Owens, Jerry Rice, Morton Hanks. I remember them days. That was my childhood. Those days I was on the PlayStation. For those who had the PS1, I was playing NFL Game Day 98. I had mine 98, but it wasn't working. It broke, so I wound up getting Game Day. So that was my days as a childhood, playing those two teams with my homeboy right in my house. So that takes me back. So yeah, but again, I got Niners beating Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? That's my pick. And I'm gonna say this: at least one of my picks in the NFC and NFC and AFC went. Yeah, even though the Seahawks and the Ravens aren't in this position, at least the Niners and the Chiefs went. But again, I'll take my losses, man. Like, I didn't see none of this coming. Excuse me. I didn't see that coming. But yeah, I'm gonna have Niners beating Green Bay, only because I feel this is their year. They're not gonna lose in Santa Clarita. Because yeah, even though Packers is a great home team, they 10-1 at home or 11-1 at home, they're not that good on the road. Okay, you're going into Santa Clarita where it's going to be very, very tough. This is going to be very tough to stop them. And even if they're not in Santa Clarita, Niners still can beat them either way. The Niners can beat Green Bay at Lambeau. They have that good of a defense. Like I said, you got Richard Sherman, who's played very well for them, right? They have Nick Bosa, who turned out very well. Okay, the offense has been clicking. Emmanuel Sanders was a great pickup for them too. You know, so they did good to trade for Emmanuel Sanders. That helped that offense out a whole lot. Okay, so again, man, yeah, I got Niners over Green Bay. Don't get me wrong. Now I'm not gonna sleep on Aaron Rodgers at all. He's very good, but let's be honest, man. The only real reason why the Packers didn't beat the Seattle Seahawks because Seattle don't got the same defense no more, man. Pete Carroll has had to deal with almost a completely different, younger team, right? Aaron Rodgers didn't have to go against the Legion of Boom. Right? There's no Richard Sherman over there, as you can see. There's no more Earl Thomas. He left last year. Right? There's no Chris Chandler. There's no Michael Bennett. All those guys have left. There's no Chris Averill on their defense line. Those guys are gone, right? You don't have no Doug Baldwin, no Golden Tate. The only two that remain, with the exception of Marshawn Lynch coming back this season, is Tyler Lockett and Bobby Wagner. Them the only two that Russell Wilson still has with him. There were teammates that remained from that championship team that Seattle had back in 2013 and 2014. Most of everybody have since then parted ways or have gone to different teams or retired. Right? Not to mention Seattle is pretty much banged up. And I told y'all this. I told this for those who have been subscribed to this channel. I said this earlier in the season, right? I told y'all that Lamar Jackson was going to fall victim in the playoffs. I told you there's some things that Lamar Jackson has to work on, right? Russell Wilson's the better quarterback. Yeah, even though Russell Wilson didn't beat Green Bay last weekend, that man still had that team within 5 points, within a touchdown winning. The problem is, nobody could. The Seattle DBs couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers. They couldn't stop Devontae Freeman or Jimmy Graham. Okay, Aaron Rodgers was able to get too many good passes downfield where he got some looks. Right, that's the only issue. As hard as Russell Wilson worked, that defense, if your defense can't at least cause a fourth down or get a turnover, you're not winning that game. And that was the results of that. That was an all offensive game. Yeah, and not to forget to mention, Green Bay was beating up on Seattle the whole first half, and Russell Wilson, like he always does, had to make an effort to come back. Right? If that's not worthy of being MVP, then again, man, it's sad. Right? And I understand they might give it to Lamar Jackson because he won more games in the regular season, but the playoffs is when the games really start. Like, I'm really not concerned about regular season. These playoffs is when the season really gets going. Okay? Yeah, but I got Niners over Green Bay now. As for Tennessee and Kansas City, Tennessee, all right, shouts out to Tyler Durden. Tyler Durden, right? That's his name. Shouts out to one of my viewers and my subscribers, Tyler Durden. He told me not to sleep on the Titans. I should have took him seriously. This Tennessee Titans team, to me, they remind me of the 9-7 New York Giants back in 2008, 2007, 2008, and 2011, 2012, right? The team that Tom Coughlin ran. With Aussie Umanura, Justin Tuck, Justin Pierre-Paul. You had Mario Manningham and Brandon Jacobs and Mark Brashaw, right? Those Antron Roll, those guys, right? That's what Cario and Bird and Derrick Henry and Tanyo, that's what they remind me of. Mike Vrabel has put together a 9-7 Titans team that's basically beaten two of the best defensive teams in the league. They knocked out Baltimore and New England. That shows you how serious he is, right? And this is how serious both teams are, right? Like Tennessee is battling for a Vince Lombardi trophy they never had. Never once since Tennessee been franchised, since the team moved from Houston, since the Oilers moved from Houston to Tennessee, never once have they actually won a championship ring. They have no Vince Lombardi trophy. And now they're battling for the second opportunity to win one since Eddie George and Steve McNair last led them in '99. So the Titans have a lot they plan for. Okay? Derrick Henry, to me, is literally, man, he's showing you why he should be our offensive player of the year. I'll be honest, man. Derrick Henry is making a strong case for it. I understand that Christian McCaffrey has played very well. I'm not going to knock that. You got Malcolm Thomas that had a great season. But Derrick Henry literally, man, helped carry this team, right? Yeah, Tannehill, I'm not going to take away nothing from Tannehill, because to me, Tannehill is on his Nick Foles. But what Derrick Henry was able to do for this team alone, that Titans team, this man has them competing. He's even doing better than Chris Johnson, and Chris Johnson was the far better running back, because Chris Johnson, CJ2K was elusive, right? He was a 2,000-yard running back. But the problem with CJ2K's Titans is that they weren't these guys. You know, the Titans, when Chris Johnson was playing, they wasn't these guys at all. Right? Derrick Henry actually got some Rough Riders on his squad. And Mike Vrabel is a way better coach than Jeff Fisher. Because Mike Vrabel, as a player, won 3 championships. He won 3 Super Bowls with New England. He's a Bill Belichick guy. Right? I'll give Mike Vrabel his credit. He's put together a very strong Tennessee Titan team that basically didn't lose composure the whole season. They kept fighting on, right? This team has basically upset the defending Super Bowl champs, right? The reigning AFC champions, right? The New England Patriots won 3 AFC championships in a row, and they just knocked them off, right? Then you knock off perhaps the Baltimore Ravens, right? Who was a 14-2 team. Lamar Jackson's about to get the MVP. He knocked them off, right? They show Lamar Jackson that he's literally, man, he's still like he still has a lot to learn. He's still inexperienced. They had Lamar Jackson still playing like a rookie. That's how bad it was last week. And that's on Baltimore Ravens' fault, man. I'm not making no excuses at all. I'm not. The Ravens was well rested. John Harbaugh decided to rest the starters for 2 weeks. They should have won that game, right? That's just good game plan. And once again, that shows you that the league ain't scripted at all. The league ain't rigged. For the people that saying the scripted rigged, they actually don't watch football, right? Every now and then, like every 6 or 7 years, you get a team like the Tennessee Titans that shows up out of nowhere and surprises you and plays hard, right? The Titans, again, they playing for their city. They're playing for their town. Derrick Henry is trying to bring one home to Tennessee. Again, this is a team that's never won a Lombardi Trophy. Now, Kansas City, the Chiefs actually have not won an AFC Championship game and have not battled for a Super Bowl championship for a Lombardi Trophy since 1978. Right? That was that Chiefs team defeated the Frank Tarkenton Minnesota Vikings. And that Viking team went to like 4 of those Super Bowls, I believe, in the 1970s. I think the 70s, 80s, that's when the Vikings was really that good. But the Chiefs in 78 and I think 78, 79 season defeated them. And that was a much different league. That was in our grandparents' and great-grandparents' time. You know, my big mama, man, she loves her Kansas City Chiefs. This is our favorite AFC team. And seeing her having actually been to KC before, she loves them. Right? So, and for Patrick Mahomes, this gives him another opportunity to win. Now, if you Andy Reid, you ain't going against Belichick. This is the perfect time for Andy Reid to get his team back to the Super Bowl, right? If you Andy Reid, this is your time to shine, right? This is your time to redeem yourself after all these years of disappointment. That means falling short in the playoffs when you was with the Philadelphia Eagles, right? You had Don McNabb. You lost to Belichick the last time, right? And what's crazy, the Eagles beat the Patriots when Reid is no longer a part of the franchise. Reid leaves, and 9 years later, they with Nick Foles and Doug Peterson, they defeat the Patriots, right? So Reid didn't get a chance to do that. But Reid, since he's been in Kansas City, has been falling short to New England all these years, right? Okay, New England gets knocked off. Now you got a chance to beat the team that beat New England. So if you Patrick Mahomes, now you got a chance to show you why you were last year's MVP, why you got those 5,000 yards. And what I like about Mahomes, it's hard to rattle Mahomes' cage. He's mentally tougher than Lamar. That's something Mahomes has over Lamar Jackson, right? This man stays in the game. Now, we seen this with the Houston Texans game last weekend, right? The Texans was up 24-0 in the first quarter. But what did Mahomes do? Mahomes continued to fight on. He continued to put his team in position to win, right? What got them back in the game was Reed and the coaching staff ability to strategize, right? That defense, the special teams made a play, right? They made a fumble, and then they stopped on fourth down because the Texans stupidly tried to go for it, and that was dumb as hell. That was the most stupidest play you ever did. Why would you go for it in the second quarter? Now, that's what I didn't understand. Instead of punting the ball, you up by 3 touchdowns, you're going to go for it and you get stopped. That killed the whole momentum. Once that happened, that gave Mahomes some light and gave him a chance to score. And then once Mahomes scored that touchdown, that was it. Mahomes is that type of player that once he starts scoring, he goes on a rampage and he doesn't stop at all. That man is a machine. He's a throwing machine. Mahomes is a relentless player that once he starts keying off on you, he sees an opening, he continues to go for it. That man's like Steph Curry out there in the pocket. Like Steph Curry is with the Golden State Warriors all the many years. That's pretty much Patrick Mahomes with these Chiefs team, right? Like I see a lot of Steph Curry and Patrick Mahomes. If Steph Curry was a quarterback, he'd be that guy. And Patrick Mahomes could do everything Lamar Jackson can do too, but knows Patrick Mahomes plays a lot smarter than Lamar, right? Because again, Patrick Mahomes has been there last year, right? So he already knows how to carry himself in these championships. That's the Chiefs teams, period. Right? They've been out the second round already, right? That's the difference between them and the Ravens. See, Lamar Jackson didn't have the same type of success the year before, right? Remember, last season he got bounced out by Phillip Rivers' LA Chargers. Okay? Yeah, this season Lamar got a chance to start fully, but that young man has a lot to learn. But he's only a year younger than Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, on the other hand, made smart plays, if you notice. Look at the way Mahomes played and look at the way Lamar Jackson played last weekend. You see a major difference. And remember, this was Patrick Mahomes who defeated the Ravens already in the regular season. The Chiefs got a defense that could pretty much go against anybody, right? Now, this is going to be a very close game, but again, I gotta go with KC. Don't get me wrong, man. Tennessee has basically played a very good season, right? And KC has knocked off both Baltimore and New England. That's a very good accomplishment. To me, man, the Titans have basically ended the Brady Belichick era. Because I don't see Tom Brady coming back after that. I don't. Because Tennessee is only going to get better from here on out. Right? And Tennessee does have a nice young core. Now, Vaccaro and Bird, they're veterans, but they're going to still be around the next 8-9 years. Mike Vrabel has an excellent core he built. Derrick Henry has already established himself as pretty much like the third best running back in this league thus far. Yeah, you got Kamara and you got Alvin Kamara and you have Todd Gurley and you have Ezekiel Elliott, those guys. But this guy here, man, Derrick Henry is established officially, right? He's one of the league's best running backs. But no, Mahomes, I think this is just the Chiefs' time. So if you're Andy Reid, you got every opportunity right now to get your team back in the Super Bowl win. Because I believe if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, they're going to win it all, right? You know, I'm a Cowboy fan. I don't like the Niners at all. But if the Niners go in there and win it, then so be it, right? I don't like Green Bay neither. But I got to give Aaron Rodgers his respect. This man has a Super Bowl ring. Like Aaron Rodgers, out of all these players, out of all 4 teams, he's the only one who has a championship ring. That's still around, right? Breeze and Brady, they already got eliminated. He's still here. Okay? But KC and Tennessee, this is going to be a great matchup. That game might go in overtime. I'm just going to be honest. I would not be surprised if Chiefs or the Titans force an overtime against one another. Because both teams are playing. Because remember, man, Arrowhead, the Kansas City Chiefs, again, they haven't seen a Super Bowl in years. So you got to imagine their fan base is starving. But for Tennessee, man, they got to show they're more hungry. Because Tennessee don't have a Vince Lombardi trophy at all. The Titans are one of 6 teams around the ring, right? It's them, Jacksonville, Carolina, Minnesota till this day, the Cleveland Browns, and then the Houston Texans. Them 6. Oh, yeah, and then the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, that's 7. Yeah, Arizona Cardinals don't have a ring either. They don't have a Lombardi trophy. That's 7 teams, right? But what I like about this playoffs, this is the first time we're getting some brand new matchups and seeing the same type of teams in the championship every year. In the case of San Francisco and Green Bay, neither one of those 2 teams made the playoffs last year, neither. Green Bay, I don't think Green Bay made the playoffs last year. No, I don't think they did. Yeah, Green Bay, I don't think made it. Neither one of those teams, I don't think, made the playoffs. Because I know you had New Orleans and Philadelphia. You had Chicago in the playoffs. You had Dallas and the LA Rams. No, Green Bay didn't make it. San Francisco didn't make it neither. So that's what's so special about those two teams. They worked extremely hard in the offseason. They revamped those teams and made it and got to where they are now. Yeah, KC was in the AFC Championship game, but they lost. So I believe KC has learned from being defeated by New England what they got to do. But Tennessee, again, man, Tennessee, you can't. If KC, I'm gonna say this about the Chiefs. If the Chiefs allow Tennessee to go ahead 24-0, Tennessee is not going to give up the lead like Houston did. There's a difference. Okay? The problem with the Houston Texans is that Deshaun Watson, as good as he is, and as good as a veteran J.J. Watt is, a lot of that team is still inexperienced. The Texans got a lot of guys who don't have that experience, right? Who ain't ever been there. So that coach, you know what I'm saying, that's something they have to learn. Vrabel, on the other hand, again, he's a guy who's actually been there many times already. That man was in New England for 8 years. So Mike Vrabel knows how to get the job done. Derrick Henry, remember, Derrick Henry and Mariota, those guys, and Jarrell Casey, those guys were in the playoffs 5 years ago, too. Remember when they lost to, remember, this team was in the playoffs 5 years ago, right? The Tennessee Titans. When they had Mariota, but they just, they lost. They just wasn't that team. So they're actually stronger. Like, Derrick Henry was a much stronger guy than he was back then. So I give him that, but, yeah, it's going to be a tough battle, man. It's going to be a dog fight. Both games, it's going to come down to the wire. Now, I really don't see no blowouts. I don't see Tennessee or KC blowing each other out like that. Not like with the Ravens, right? And even the Niners. The Niners are definitely not Seattle. The Niners actually got their whole team healthy. So, man, we're gonna see how it goes down. And I'm gonna say this too before I end it now. And I still stand by everything I said, right? Colin Kaepernick had the chance to be in Jimmy Garoppolo's position. Okay? I bet Colin Kaepernick is slapping himself silly right now, banging his head against the wall for not staying in that contract. I guarantee you Kaepernick regrets ever opting out the 49ers. If he didn't opt out, this would be him right now in the position that Garoppolo's in. The 49ers wouldn't even need to go after Jimmy Garoppolo because Kyle Shanahan would have helped Colin Kaepernick redeem himself and become back to a all-pro quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo would have never been there, right? Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch originally wanted Colin Kaepernick to be in the position that Garoppolo's in. Kaepernick chose to leave and go to different teams, so that's his own fault. This will be Kaepernick battling Aaron Rodgers. That would be Kaepernick getting revenge on Russell Wilson instead, right? Now that's not going to happen. So that's his own fault. So you people like Nick Strom and all you other Kaepernick supporters, y'all need to leave that man alone. Because if Garoppolo gets that to the Niners in the Super Bowl and let's say they actually beat a team like the Chiefs or Titans, I don't want nobody bringing up Kaepernick no more. Okay? Jimmy Garoppolo will prove he's a better the quarterback than Colin Kaepernick. Okay? But anyways, folks, man, that's the video, man. Y'all tell me who you think can win. I'll see you again when both teams and the winners are determined. And we'll see you go to battle each other for the Super Bowl. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned. I'll see you soon.